do I start? It's been a while and I don't really know where to begin, but I don't even feel like I need to make a video like this or explain where I've been. Essentially, I've just been working on myself. I've had depression, I've come out of depression. I needed that time just for myself. And also, like, my kids, they needed me. And I just didn't have the mental capacity to just continue on with everything whilst they needed me. So, if you're not aware, I do have a teenager and he's going to be 18 this year. But past few years have been wild, trying to like rail him in because he's having a rebellious stage. Most teenagers go through it, but I really needed to pay attention and just be present. And my youngest son's just been diagnosed with autism as well, so I had to also be present with that and make sure that he's getting the support that he needs. And he was on a reduced timetable for a long time as well, so just gradually trying to get him to like the school environment, getting used to being in school and stuff like that. So it's been a lot to handle. As for myself, I think I've spoken about my depression before, but it was something I've been dealing with since I even made any of these pages and my YouTube channel. It was just during a really awkward time. I started my channel as like a really awkward time in my life. The depression it wasn't really about my baby or my life particularly. It was purely about myself and how I felt about myself and how different I look, and that's what it started with. But then you add on everything else that's you could be stressed about. It was just piling on, and it's like a pressure pot. I reached the tip, and yeah, lost my shit, crashed out, whatever. I actually did fully have a crash out in 2023. In 2023, and resultantly, I just started to isolate myself and completely didn't talk to any of my friends, family. Coming out of that and then realizing that all of your connections have broken down, and also feeling some sort of way because you've had that crash out that everyone saw, well, my family and friends saw, and no one really reached out to you. Like only a handful of people reached out to me, and so those handful of people I've been keeping in contact with, making sure to keep a connection with, because those are the ones that truly care about me. But yeah, it's just those feelings. I don't it's a hard one to grasp, you see, because being in that mode of depression, you already feel like nobody cares, and then when it actually shows that no one cares, or it's evident that no one cares, it affects you. It does really affect you. And so I'm depression free now, so I'm coming out of it. I don't really feel those feelings anymore, but those connections have severed, if you know what I mean. And just also knowing that the kind of person that I am, if I can see that someone close to me that needs help or they need some advice or anything like that, I'll be the first one to step forward and try to help out in any way that I can and let them know like I'm here for you. But when that's not reciprocated, or when that's, I know you can't expect people to be the same way you are, but when it's connections that you assumed that were close, you would think they would do the same for you. But anyways, swiftly moving on. So yeah, that's where I've been. I've been taking care of my kids and taking care of myself and just pouring more love into myself, and I just didn't have the mental capacity to do everything all together. So YouTube, I haven't done a long form video in like 2023. Instagram, it's just been here and there. Same TikTok and YouTube. Nothing really. I've edited a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of stuff that's already edited and ready to put up, but it's old videos, so I don't know what to do. Like, I think I am just going to push those videos out and then continue making content from now, and yeah, just updating you guys on what I'm doing. I don't really intend to make content about autism because I'm not really in the position to feel like truly comfortable talking about my daily life. Like, I want to keep some things to myself because I feel like there's power in privacy. I know that a lot of mums and dads are going through the same thing at the moment, and they would have felt the same way I was feeling when they first found out, or when they experienced day-to-day struggles and stuff like that. And I know I can help a lot of people with managing those feelings and emotions because I've been through it, but I'm just not in the place or the position to mentally to do that. But what I will say is that when I first kind of like realize that, you know, something's not quite right, that's when those negative feelings start to come in. Feeling depressed, like, you know that you're doing everything right as a parent, but something's not clicking or something's not right, if you get what I mean. And it's only when I look back at my videos that I've taken of him now, and when he was like 2 years old, when I first started seeing some sort of signs, and I realized, okay, so that's why that was happening and stuff like that. Like little things like trying to teach him his name, and I'd be like, what's your name? And he wouldn't say his name, and it's this stuff he should have been knowing by now. That was probably the first sign, like not responding to his name and not answering me when I'm speaking to him. He is verbal, but he was delayed in speech by the time he got to nursery. That was the first time someone else has said maybe he might possibly be on the spectrum. So he had food avoidance as well, and he still does have food avoidance. So anything that looks a bit odd, he won't eat. Or nowadays he will try, and as long as he tries, I'm happy, because not everybody's gonna like all the foods, you know. Food avoidance, and another thing was potty training. So Isaac, he was peeing in the potty from such a small age. Like, I think about 2 years old, he was weeing in the potty. Probably like 1.5. And then when it came to like doing number twos, I realised that this isn't right. And he would withhold his poo. He didn't like the sensation of and thinking. We had to actually revert back to nappies. And that was the first time that I really felt like this is hard. This is more difficult than it should be. And so we were trying to prepare him to go to nursery, so we didn't want him to be in a nappy by the time he went to nursery, and he didn't, but he was still having like moments of withholding his poo, and then it would just be like the last minute, and then he's like having a little bit of accidents at school and stuff, which is normal for every kid, but it was just something that just kind of perked us up. And then also when he started nursery, he wasn't playing with other children, and he was showing behaviours which we now know as stimming, just running up and down, not really sitting down or paying attention, or, you know, it's like he'll be listening to the story or whatever the teacher's doing, but he's running up and down doing it. And that is something that he does. He just likes to run back and forth. But yeah, those are the first few signs. Again, I'm not gonna dive too deep into it, but it was something that I needed to overcome, basically, because I did start to feel sad about it and just start thinking about how I imagined my life would be. And, you know, you never really think about these things happening. You never really think about it when you have children, but I don't know. I don't know. It's like, it's so difficult to even try to explain, but I kind of like mourned the life that I thought I would have, basically, if that makes sense. And also like a lot to do with how I looked and how much I've changed. So it's just so much to take on. But yeah, my point is that it added on to my feelings about myself and my life, and added to the depression. I wanted to break this video up into like 3 different parts, but I got notes, but I just started speaking, you know, and it's just coming out naturally, whatever. My YouTube journey, Instagram, TikTok, started at a really awkward time for me. As I said, I just had a baby. I was trying to think of ways that I could make money other than teaching, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do PE teaching. I've got a degree in sports science, and I was meant to go on to do PGCE to do PE teaching. But by the time I finished my degree, I was like, I can't teach kids. I am stressed out. So I didn't go down that route. And so 2 years later, after finishing uni, I was pregnant with my youngest. So all those kind of plans for like my career kind of went out the door. So when I had my son, and then lockdown happened pretty soon after, like even before my maternity leave finished, I think. It happened just as soon as my maternity leave ended. So I started thinking about other ways I can make money, and I've always wanted to do YouTube. So I took that time during lockdown to start a YouTube channel. Most people did, actually. And also I was doing pencil self-portraits, pencil and charcoal, and I also was selling cakes. So I was just trying different things to see which one, you know, I would pick, and it just got all too much trying to do all 3. So I kind of just stuck to doing YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, because that is a lot of work in itself. It was difficult to keep up, but I did get to where I wanted to be and everything was going great until it wasn't going great. Until the depression proper kicked in, which was about 2022. And it was around the time that I had a birthday due, and I went out with a few of my cousins and some friends from work, and I just remember coming home and crying about the way I felt while I was out, and I was just like, yeah, no, this is no good. I don't know, I feel like ever since I've had my son, I've spent a lot of time indoors. Like, I've spent whole summers, the past 4 or 5 summers, just staying inside my house. Don't go nowhere, don't go out, you know, like with friends, no festivals, anything like that. Like, I've been at home. Okay, so last year I tried to like break that and try to get out of the house a bit more, went on a few holidays, stuff like that, and I still, even though I enjoyed doing that, I felt horrible. When I went on holiday last year, I just felt so uncomfortable in my body. Like, I wore most of my clothes are black. I actually need to stop wearing black, but imagine being on a holiday and all you wear is black. Yeah, so I said to myself, because I am going away this year, I said to myself, I am not going to be this size the next time I go on holiday. And yeah, so last year it was all about fitness, like just getting fit and trying to build muscle, and you know, I gave it a good go. I gave the weight loss a good go, but it was difficult. I found it really difficult because my eating habits were really bad. I do emotionally eat, and most of the time it's sweet stuff. And so it's just been a cycle of trying to break that, really. Even this year, I've been doing really well, but I wasted 6 months trying to out-train a bad diet. I would eat healthily, I would ruin it with fast food or sweet treats, and that's literally been a vicious cycle. So I said, you know what, I need to do something more because I'm going to end up going on a holiday heavier, like I didn't want to. So the past 2 months only, I think it's actually been about 6 weeks, I've lost the same amount in 6 weeks than I have in 6 months. Okay, I probably won't be the size that I want to be when I go on holiday, but I'll be smaller, and that's all I can ask for right now. I'm not trying to put too much pressure on myself, and I want to lose weight slow and sustainably. That's always my motive when I try to lose weight. Slow and sustainable weight loss. No crash dieting. No trying to lose as much weight as possible in a short amount of time. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay? So yeah, what I intend to do is just roll out the old videos that I have and then give current updates, because I know a lot of people are waiting for my braces update. A lot of people are just generally waiting for me to come back. And also I'm gonna update or start to give updates about my weight loss as well. So yeah, so for the future of my pages and my YouTube channel, I'm just going to be making all types of content that involves my hair, my weight loss, my braces, anything that I am going through at the moment. When it comes to my hair, like, I'm very basic. I just wear it like I have a twist or wash and goes, and that's how I've always been. You know, you try to make content, you try different things out and different hairstyles, etc. But what I do focus on daily and weekly is my weight loss. So it only makes sense that I start making content about that. I think my weight loss has been the hardest thing that I've ever tried to do. And I know a lot of people will resonate with that as well. So I feel like documenting my journey and giving tips on what I've done for success will help other people out as well, because this is hard. It is hard work. Losing a substantial amount of weight is very difficult compared to like losing 10 pounds. Look, I'm not trying to disregard losing 10 pounds because that's hard in itself, but losing 30, 40, 50 pounds, that is very, very hard. Mentally, very, very hard. So I just want to help. But yeah, that's all really for this update. It's very long-winded. I don't know how much I'm going to keep in. But yeah, I'm back, I think. We'll see. So that's the update on where I've been and what I've been dealing with. I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope everyone is keeping healthy. I hope you guys have a great day, week. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.